So the one on the left is Hindu. You can
Yeah.
easily identify the Hindu symbol because it has dots within the cross. It divides the nature in four parts, and these are the different elements.
Right. Okay.
You mentioned about similarities between Sanskrit and Lithuanian and the cultures being similar. What is your approach to swastik?
It's the symbol of sun. We do have that similar symbols in the Lithuanian mythology as well. So it symbolizes the sun. I don't know if it's the same in the Hindu traditions.
Wow, that's interesting. So when people started hating the Nazi swastik, how did you react? How did the people of Lithuania react?
Well, it's not a very common kind of a symbol. More of the times we just have like a sort of a circle, which is divided into six spots or like with snakes coming out outside of it. So it's the most common symbol of the sun. So we don't have much relationship to it. I know that when the Nazis took the swastika, they took it from Hinduism and they appropriated it to themselves because, well, Hitler had interesting ideas about Atlantis and like Aryans and all kind of stuff. But Lithuania, I think the symbol of the sun, as it's in the swastika in the Hinduism, is not a very common theme. Like
I'm trying to pull up the Lithuania swastik. Let me see if I can find an image. But you asked me
it's
if it is a
interesting
similar.
because
Hmm?
now it's more like in the graveyards you can see the Christian symbol, which is the cross, but on the cross there's the pagan symbol of the sun, the circle with some things coming out of it. That's also an interesting representation which shows kind of the mix that happened through the times of different kind of symbolisms. I might try to help you find it, but if you do,
So this is what I'm coming when I type
huh?
Lithuania swastik. So this is
Um,
neo-Nazi.
well, no, it's probably it's not related to like Lithuania. It's more Germanic in this kind of a sense. Although, if you come up a little bit up, you see that interesting figure where there's the double cross. Yeah, although it was not in a red kind of in the red font. It was actually what was most of the times on the shields of Lithuanian warriors, like in the medieval times, and it's a double cross. It was just a symbolism that they used. And on the right side, a little bit downwards, you can see that there's like three pillars. As you can see, it's actually German. So most of these symbolisms is probably coming from Germany, or it's somehow connected to the occupation that we had because we were occupied by Germany for
Hmm.
like I think a year, a little bit more maybe. So it could be that it's the German way of trying to incorporate Lithuania into their Third Reich at the time. So maybe that's where these most of these photos are coming from.
So the one on the left is Hindu. You can
Yeah.
easily identify the Hindu symbol because it has dots within the cross.
What do the dots symbolize?
And it's usually red background on this, whatever little I
Mm-hmm.
know. It divides the nature in four parts, and these are the different elements.
Right. Okay. So it's more like seasons represented in the yeah.
And you'll find this interesting. We had this guest from Iran. She was telling me that this is even a very common symbol in Iran. And this is how it is related to you because this was the wheel of the god of sun. So you said this
Hmm.
represents the sun in Lithuania, right? So it is the wheels of
Ah.
sun in Iran.
Actually, I went into DuckDuckGo and I also added the word sun symbol Lithuania, and there I received a better imagery which is not connected to the Nazi
Hmm.
leftovers. So if you would add sun symbol Lithuania, let's see what kind of symbolism we would get there. So the one on the left, it's a good representation,
This one?
although, yes, although most of the time in the center there will not be those three pillars which represent the ruling family of Gediminaichi in, no,
Hmm.
more like 14th and 15th century. So we wouldn't have that. But the sun symbol, it's more like this.
Hmm.
And you can actually see it in many locations in Lithuania where they are carved on wood because we do have a lot of wooden sculptures. And this is predominantly from the pagan times. So this is more like the Lithuanian equivalent of the swastik coming from India, which is a little bit different, as you can see. A location which is called the Hill of the Witches, which is in the same Cronian spit that we were talking about before, the small piece of land separated by the lagoon that we were discussing. And there you can see probably the biggest accumulation of wooden sculptures representing the pre-Christian Lithuanian tradition, literally called Raganų kalnas, which in English is translated the Hill of the Witches. I think it was believed that it was like the gathering point of the witches flying from different kind of locations in the old days. Yeah, so they represent different kind of aspects of Lithuanian folklore. So different kind of imps. Most of the time they're not like evil, but they're like tricksters. You can see that they have horns, but they're laughing and like making fun of you. So it's like the spirits playing, you could say. So
I was
that's
also
a common
checking
theme.
for a culture of Lithuania. There was another thing that came up. This witch festival, the burning some sort of...
Yeah, Užgavėnės. Yeah, it's in the old days, it was celebrated to ward off evil spirits in the changing of seasons. Now we celebrate it more as like we're trying to ward off the winter. It's a seasonal celebration when we want to scare the winter so the spring would come sooner. So it's at the turning point of seasons. And we do bake, we eat pancakes on that day. Everyone bakes pancakes because the pancake symbolizes the sun. So everyone eats pancakes and wants the sun to return quicker. So that's a common Lithuanian festival or celebration, which is definitely pre-Christian in origin.
Watch full podcast on Rocklaz.
Rocklaz Radio.
Rocklaz.
Rocklaz.
Rocklaz Radio with Tanmay Shah.